Okay. All right. So today we're gonna work on the command line. We're gonna learn like how to manipulate files on our computer, how to manipulate folders, how to rename files, all of that good stuff. How to delete stuff on our computer. How to. There's a few things that we're gonna learn, but the reason we're learning it is because you're gonna need to learn it whenever you start, whenever you start React. I'm just gonna let me share my screen really quick. I'm just gonna quickly look up like what's some common command line. So common command line commands.
Should we download the platform that you mentioned last week?
No, it's fine. So for this, all you're gonna need is just your computer, really, because the computer should have the command line in there. So we just gonna work with the command line today, and if we get through it, we'll go through. We'll start with React if we get through all the command line things. But something's telling me that we may spend the class doing the command line things. Let's see. I wish there was like a list. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna go off of memory. I'm gonna just show you the ones I commonly use. So on Windows, you have to go to the start bar, like the start button, and then do a search. And whenever you search on Windows, you have to search command line, or you can type CMD, or you can type terminal. I think all three of those should get you just to the same place. And on Mac, you just go to the search bar and you can just type terminal, and it should pull up on your computer. So if y'all did want to follow along, then that's what we can do. That's what y'all can do. And let me know if anybody have any issues finding it also.
Quick question, Isaiah.
Yeah.
When I just went to, because I got Windows, right? And I just went to the start, put in the command, brought up the terminal, but it started with like starter instead of like, because I was trying to follow the videos from last week. And from that point, I tried to type in like LS and stuff like that, and it didn't do anything.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad you mentioned that. So LS is just Mac specific.
Okay.
I'll show you the Windows ones too. So
okay.
Yeah.
I figured out though that I just went through the Visual Studio Code, and because I downloaded Node already, right? And I was just looking, and I was able to see that it was able to access Node through the terminal on Visual Studio Code. But now that you say that, I just wanted to make sure that I highlighted that though.
Yeah. Sure. So all right, so I'm gonna start going through these commands. I'm gonna try to keep in mind that not all of these commands work on Windows, but I think I should know the Windows equivalent. So
I just put in the chat an article that has 15 command line commands that work on Windows in case.
Okay. Let me see.
I'm gonna get my life together soon and get a Mac.
I'm not disabled. Okay. Websites like this that want to do things on my computer, I just ignore.
Okay, yeah.
But thanks for the for the resource. Even this one, I'm just gonna exit out of that. Anytime I see a pop-up, I just leave because I'm just too cautious, to be honest.
Right, and it's funny because when I did the first search I did, it gave me this site which was really, it had 71 command rows, but when you pulled it up, it said it asked you to accept all the cookies, and I was like, oh
yeah. So I'm gonna just show you. Yeah, I hate when it wants to put cookies on my computer, but yeah. But But yeah, I'm gonna just show you all the ones from memory because I should know most of them, if anything.
So is there a program that all the commands can work on?
So it's gonna work on your computer. I'm gonna differentiate. I'm gonna tell you like if I write one that's not gonna work on Windows, I'm gonna tell you the equivalent command to write on Windows. So
Okay.
yeah, we are gonna be good. You don't have to install anything or anything like that. So
That
So are
second
we in a
link that I
command
sent you
prompt?
though is a better one. Just FYI.
Are we in CMD now?
right, you're right. We in CMD or terminal for those who have Mac. Let me check this second link. Okay, yeah, CD. Okay, yes, yeah. This is. So some of these are common. Okay. All right. All right. Literally, like probably like I saw like 3 that's like really common. But okay, cool. Thanks. I'm gonna go over those ones, the ones I just saw. So the first one I want y'all to know about is PWD. And PWD stands for Print Working Directory. Let me start like a notepad with these. Okay, so PWD.
Now, when you write PWD, do you have to write some type of squiggly line or something like that, or no?
No, just PWD and then just press enter.
Because when I put mine on there, it said PWD is not recognized as an internal or external command, operable program, or batch file.
Okay, yeah, I didn't think that was one that didn't work on Windows. Let me see if I can get you the equivalent. Say PWD on Windows. It should pop up right away. Windows equivalent of Unix PWD command. Okay. Echo. Wait, this prints to the console. Try. This looks very complicated. So try this to type echo and then % CD and then %. I actually never seen this before. So if this does work, then even better. This prints to the console or paste in command your PWD. Yeah, does this work?
I'm typing it in right now. Echo, echo. I'm sorry.
Echo and
CD.
Then, yeah, %CD and then %.
Okay.
So whenever you type that in, it should show something that looks like this. It should it should print out like a path. Mine's is like user and then like my name because that's, does it do that when you do that? No, it's fine. So I'll give y'all like something in a Zoom, in a Instagram chat, like the equivalent of that. Just for the sake of time. And I'll let y'all know about that one. But yeah, PWD is print working directory, and I'll get you the equivalent, print working directory. So there's a few things in here I want y'all to notice. So first thing is directory. Anytime we're in a command line, a directory is the equivalent of a folder. So anytime we say directory, that literally means folder. So directory is a folder. So it's saying print the working directory. What that means is basically we're printing the folder that we're currently like working in. That's how you can sort of think about it. So in my terminal right now, the folder that I'm currently in is the Isaiah Harrison folder. And I could prove that to you by showing you another command. called open and then dot. But on Windows it's different. So on Mac, you type open and you type a space, and then you type dot, just one dot. And that's going to open up the folder that you're currently in. Now on Windows,
Question, Isaiah.
go ahead.
Does a Mac automatically open up a folder for you? Because I think that might be the problem.
It opens up after you press enter, after you press this in and then enter.
Okay. All right, never mind.
Yeah, you have Windows, right? So Windows, you want to type Explorer and then dot. And when you type Explorer and then dot, it's going to open up the current folder. I'm gonna put these in here. So this is for Mac. And this one is for Windows. And both of these are to open the current folder. So the folder I opened up, we can see that the name is here up top. It just says Isaiah in it. So that's me proving that I'm actually in the Isaiah folder. Now, something to note here is this dot. Like this dot, that has a meaning to it. Dot is literally like the file path that you want to open. By us just putting a dot by itself, it just literally means let's open the folder that we're currently inside of. That's what that means. Like open this folder. Now, so let me actually make like a
Oh, wow. Okay. So, yeah, and the thing is that I had to make a space.
yeah, dot, yep, Explorer space dot, right, exactly.
Was that the same case with PWD? That I need to make a space, PWD?
No, so PWD was just PWD by itself, and then you hit enter.
Yeah, that didn't work.
Yeah. So what I'm about to do now is I'm gonna show you the significance of this dot really quick. I created a folder on my desktop called testing. And inside of that, I'm just gonna create another folder. And I'm gonna just name this like testing 2. And inside of that, I'm gonna make another folder called testing 3. So what I'm about to do is show you these commands in this folder, but first I have to get to this folder. In order for me to get to that folder, right now I'm in a terminal. If I do a PWD again, we can see that I'm still inside of the Isaiah Harrison folder. Now, what I have to do is eventually get to this folder, but this folder is on my desktop. Now I have to get to my desktop some kind of way. Then I have to get to this folder. So a good way to figure out like in order to get to my desktop, I have to get to my desktop within this folder. Let me open this up really quick. So this is the Isaiah Harrison folder. One thing I want you to notice is all of the different like files and like folders inside of here. We have some music. We have movies, music, Python products, downloads, etc., etc. Now, if I go to the terminal, right, and I press LS on Mac, it's LS, the letter L, the letter S, and then hit enter. On Windows, it's DIR. So it's like directory. So let me write that down. On Mac.
You know what this reminds me? It reminds me of my like my basic intro to computer science classes. I think it was they were teaching us basic and also Fortran. Are these those languages? I mean, are these commands also used in those languages?
I'm not completely sure. I haven't used them before, but I know I would assume that some of this stuff is used because these are used in different languages depending on like what your which language you're in. So you're probably right on. But yeah, so these two commands, ls and dir, they list the current directories, files and folders. That's what it does. So I press
In your hard drive.
right, exactly. Well, inside of the folder that you're currently in. So since I'm in the Isaiah Harrison folder, I can see that like it's listing out all of the different files. So we have music, we got movies, yeah, the Python projects, downloads. We have all of that stuff listed here, downloads here. Now, in here, I can see that I have a desktop folder right here. Now, notice that there's no desktop folder here. Like we don't see it here, but we do see it in the terminal. And that's the first important thing I want you to notice. Like in the terminal, we can see more stuff in the terminal than on our actual computer. Here is hidden. There's things on your computer that's hidden away from you, and you don't really know that it's hidden. Not unless you go into the terminal, you can start to mess around with it and see which ones are actually hidden.
What you mean hidden? Like
Yeah, it's like they hide it from you, like
in your computer.
on your computer. Yeah. There are certain files, certain folders that's just completely hidden away from you. They don't want you to know about it. They don't want you to interact with it. It's just hidden. So one, for safety, some files and folders you shouldn't mess with. So they're okay to be hidden away. But the desktop folder, I'm not sure why it's not showing on here, but it's not. And that just means that, they don't want you to see the desktop folder from here.
They don't have one on my my end, by the way.
Okay. You should, I feel like Windows should have.
Now, interesting thing is that what the Windows does have is they have the OneDrive. And I've always wondered, like, can you like delete OneDrive? Because I don't want generally my files to be put into cloud on Windows. I know that's their OneDrive, but
Yeah.
that's what you'd have to do, right? Is delete that folder.
That might work. I've never tried it before, but it could potentially work for sure. So yeah, try to delete it but it'll probably stop you, to be honest. It might say something like, oh yeah, you can't delete this folder or something. But I mean, I'm no IT. I think that's more like an IT question. So I don't want to recommend you delete it because I don't want you to mess your computer up.
Got it.
But just I guess you could just ignore it. But yeah. Yeah, because deleting some of the stuff will mess up a computer, and I'll show you how to delete stuff from the command line also. So yeah, right now I'm inside the Isaiah Harrison folder. I want to go into my desktop folder. I want to go into that. Now, what I can do to go into that folder is type a command. It's called CD. Now, this is both Mac and Windows. CD, just CD, and then the name of the place that I want to go into, which is desktop. So CD means change directory. Change directory. Remember I told you directory means folder. So we're changing the folder, and the folder that we want to change to is the desktop. Now, remember when I told y'all the dot means the current directory, like when we did open and then dot, we meant like open where we're currently inside of.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we want to go up a folder, we put dot and then we put a slash, dot slash, and then the name of the thing that we want to go into. Now notice I literally I can just type the first letter and then hit the tab or the first two letters and hit tab on my keyboard. This should work Windows or Mac. And you may actually have to write more than just one letter because we have more than one folder. We have more than one thing called that starts with a D, desktop, documents, and download. So if I type CD and then DE and press tab, it's going to autocomplete for me, since this is the only thing with DE in its name. And this is cap sensitive too, so you can't put like lowercase d.
So in Windows, all you have to just push is tab and it scrolls you through all the, I guess, folders in that folder.
Even better actually. Yeah, but yeah, so yeah, that's good. But yeah, change directory. I'm changing the folder and I'm starting from my current folder. Then I'm going to go up with this / and I want to go up into the desktop folder. This last slash don't really mean much, to be honest. You can just ignore that. But like this means that we're going into the desktop folder. So now I press enter and I press PWD. Now I'm in the desktop. So user, Isaiah Harrison, desktop. Now before I go into this testing folder, I want to show you how to go back a directory. I showed you how to go like up one. I'm gonna show you how to go back one. Now we're gonna go back into the Isaiah Harrison folder from here. We type CD again. You want to change directory. And to go back a folder, you put 2 dots. So 1 dot means your current folder, 2 dots mean you want to go back a folder. So let me write that down actually. So 1 dot means current folder. And then 2 dots means back a folder. I'm gonna just start writing directory actually, just so we can get used to like seeing directory. So I put CD space 2 dots. I click that, I press enter, and then I'm gonna do PWD again, print working directory. And I know that, you know, Windows don't, we still got to figure out the Windows one for this. But either way, now I'm back inside of the Isaiah Harrison folder.
It worked. It worked. It moved me back into the folder that was deleted.
Yeah, and on Windows, you should see your file path here too. Like you might see it like as like wherever your cursor is next to.
Yes, it does give me, like for mine, it says users TKARI. Now, since I didn't have a desktop on mine, I just use documents. That's what I mean.
Cool.
But just for, I guess, the sake, try %CD% on Windows.
You said percent, CD%?
Yeah, just %CD%.
Yeah.
And see if that works instead of PWD.
It doesn't. Nope. Put space.
Okay. I'm gonna keep looking.
But yeah, but yeah. So right now I'm inside of the Isaiah Harrison folder. I'm gonna go back to the desktop. So CD, I don't have to necessarily put /. I can literally just type the name of the folder I want to go inside of. So I'm just type desktop and hit tab. So the thing to notice is that this and this is literally the exact same thing. Like that, this // whenever you navigate into different folders is optional. You can just write the name of the folder. And these are distinctions that you're going to start to get used to as you start writing them over and over. For now, just pick one version of this and just stick to it until you get used to like navigating your terminal. So I'm gonna do a PWD again, just to prove that we're in a desktop folder. We are in a desktop folder. And now I'm gonna open this folder, open dot. Remember on Windows, it's Explorer dot. So I'm gonna do open dot on mine, and it opens the desktop folder. We can see it here. It's a desktop folder. In the desktop folder, we can see that I have this testing one, the one I just created. And this is something to like notice, like literally everything on your computer is files and folders, like everything. It may have come to a surprise to some people that your desktop is a folder, but either way, like your desktop is a folder. Every place on your computer is a folder. It's just a visual representation of what's inside of the folder. That's what your desktop really is. But yeah, we're inside of our desktop right now. So now I'm inside of the desktop. I'm gonna just do LS again, just so we can get practice using it. LS shows everything that all of the files and folders that is that's on my desktop. And I got a lot of files and folders, a few screenshots, some folders, blah, blah, blah. And I can even see that testing folder right here. So now I'm gonna go inside of my testing folder, CD again, and I'm just gonna press the name of the folder, and I'm gonna go inside of that. I do a PWD. I can see that I'm inside of my testing folder on my desktop. Now I'm gonna do LS again. LS shows me the folder that's currently inside of there. We have testing 2 that's inside of that folder. If I open up this folder here, we can see that we have testing 2 right here. And if I go inside of that folder, I'm gonna CD into testing 2 and then do an LS, there's another folder inside of there called testing 3. Let me open that up. Yeah, testing 2 is here. Inside of that is testing 3. And inside of testing 3, I'm gonna CD into testing 3 and do an LS. We don't get anything because there's nothing inside of this testing 3 folder. But let's change that. Let's put something inside of here, but I'm gonna do it from the terminal. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a folder from the terminal. And the way you do that, it should be the same on Windows. It's called make directory. So MKDIR. So let me put that in the notes. This stands for make directory.
And do you have to push a space after you push that command in?
Right. So you want to put a space, and then you want to put the name of the folder that you want to create, or of the directory that you want to create. I'm just putting these things to say that this is a variable. This can be anything you want. So I have make dir, I'm gonna do space, and I'm just going to type testing 4, and that's, as soon as I press enter, you're gonna see it. You're gonna see it create over here. Let me put these side by side so you can see that. So this is the testing 3 folder here. I'm gonna press enter, and we can automatically see that folder was created over here. So now I'm gonna go inside of that folder. I'm gonna go inside of testing 4. And obviously if I do LS, there's nothing inside of it because I literally just created that. But
So let me let's go back. How do you verify it? So if can you put a space between the name of the folder, or you can't have a space?
Oh, no spaces, no spaces. I'm glad you asked that question. So let me create, I'm going to create one with a space in it. But just know, like, when we code, like, never ever put spaces in between, like, folder names, file names, anything like that. But I'm gonna show you how to do it. The reason we don't put spaces is because it can break stuff. Like these spaces, they're like dangerous because sometimes the computers, at the end of the day, they're not as smart as we think that they are. They just do calculations. And when we put spaces, they sometimes get confused with what our intentions are. They don't really know what we're trying to say when we put a space, because spaces can mean different things depending on like different contexts. But I'm gonna make a directory, and I'm gonna make one with a space in it, just for a demonstration. When you make one with a space, if I'm remembering correctly, you gotta put it inside of quotation marks. So I put a double quote right here, and I'm gonna just put folder space with spaces, and I'm gonna end it with another double quote. Now, if I did this the right way, it should, yeah, it should. So it created that folder for me. And
now, and again, the command is mkdir, right?
right, exactly. MKDIR stands for make directory. And while we are here, I'm gonna do this again. I'm gonna do this without quotation marks. and I'm gonna show you what happens. So folder with spaces, right? This is going to create 3 folders. You see, folder with spaces. This is one of those examples of how these spaces can get really confusing. We didn't put it inside of quotes, so we didn't group it together. So this is saying I want to make directory, I want to make a folder, I want to make a folder name folder, I want to make a folder name with, and I want to make a folder name spaces. So that's what happens. In just one of the scenarios why we should not use spaces. Now, I'm a CD inside of the folder that has spaces in it. I think I got to put this in quotes also. Folder, yeah, I got to put the whole thing in quotes. So now there's nothing inside of that. I did an ls. There's nothing inside of this folder here, folder with spaces. I'm going to put something in there. I'm going to put a file inside of there now. And hold on, one moment.
Oh,
Okay.
yo, Talib, try regular CD without the percent signs. Yeah, I'm still on this PWD thing.
Yeah, see. It's all good. Yeah. I gotta look something up anyway. Because I know how to create a file on on Mac, but I'm not sure if I know how to do it on Windows. Let me see. Make file from terminal. Windows. Create file from command line. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So I've never actually tried this before, but I guess the Windows users can try it. I'm gonna show you the Mac way of doing this first, and then the Windows people can try. You can try it on your side, but on Mac, the way you create a file, I believe it is. I believe we use the cat command. Let me check it really quick. I'm just gonna create index.html. No, it's not cat. Index. I'm just testing something out real quick. I want to see if this actually works. Yes. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So if you're on Mac, this is what you can do to create a file. You write the nano command, and then you write the name of the file that you want to create. Now, I'm gonna just type like notes, for example. Now, you can either put an extension or not, but I think if you don't put an extension, I think it automatically defaults to txt. Don't quote me on that though, but every time you create a file, you wanna put the extension. That's just like, it's just something you wanna always do. So on Mac, you write nano, and then you write the name of the file that you wanna create. If I click that on Mac, what we can do from here, now I'm gonna go to the Windows version in a second. Let me get my charger, one moment. Okay. All right. So whenever you press nano on Mac and you press the file name and press enter, it's going to bring you to this this interface. And what you can do here is you can start to write stuff, right? And this stuff is going to be written inside of the file that you just created. So after you do that on Mac, you want to press, we can see that we have different options down here at the bottom. You want to press Control X to exit. So Control X, and then it's going to bring you to this screen here. And it's basically saying, do you want to save it? Save modified buffer. That's just like the file. They're asking, do you want to save your changes? So you can press Y, because you have Y for yes, N for no. So I'm gonna press Y. Doesn't matter if it's uppercase or lowercase. So I pressed Y, and at the bottom here, it's saying file name to write to. And it says note.js. That's the one that you just now chose. And what you want to do is press return, and then it creates the file for you. Now on Windows, it's a little bit different, but I never actually tested this before, but this is what I'm assuming is going to happen. So you got to press echo, right? You have to write echo first, and then you can write like some text or whatever. Like this is a text that's going to be inside of your file. I'm just gonna write something here. I'm gonna paste this in the chat also. So after you do that, you write one of these carrots, and then you write the name of the file that you're trying to create. One of the Windows users, y'all can try to paste that into your terminal to see if you create a file name.txt, and then open that up to see if like the text something is inside of it. What we had did was create a notes.js, and if I double clicked it, it opened up in the browser, and we can literally see that what we just typed in there is there. Start to write stuff. This is what we typed. So let me write that down here on the notes. For Mac and for Windows. For Mac, we write nano and then file name. Obviously, y'all gonna have to go back through the video to see like exactly how that's done. In Windows, you write this, and honestly, you can probably put this in quotation marks if you want to write like more than like a lot of stuff. I'm guessing that's how it works, but just for simplicity, I'm just gonna put like just one word. So this is how you create and write to a file. So right now we're still inside of the PWD. We're still inside of this folder. It says folder with spaces. Now, if I do ls now, I can see that I have two files inside of that. We've got the index.html that I created and the notes.js. Now I'm going to show you how to delete files from your computer. And I just also want to caution you, whenever you're deleting through the terminal, it's not going to go inside your trash can or your recycle bin on Windows. It's going to be deleted like forever. So before you delete something, make sure you actually want to delete it, because you cannot recover it. Like, it's just not recoverable at all. It's a permanent command. So on Windows and Mac, it should be the same thing. You write RM, stands for remove, and then you write the name of the file that you want to remove. This is how you remove a file. I press enter, and you can see that it deleted over here. Now I'm going to delete. I'm going to do that again. I'm going to delete notes.js. It deleted it from the file. So let me write that down. So delete file from computer. Use RM. And that just stands for remove. So now that we know how to remove a file, let's figure out how to remove a folder. Now, right now, I'm inside of this folder with spaces. What I'm going to do is go back a directory. So remember, to go back, do CD, press dot, dot. That's how you go back a directory. Press enter. If I do PWD now, I can see that I'm back a directory. I'm inside of this testing for folder. And if I do an ls, go ahead.
Can you delete a folder that you're currently in or a directory that you're currently in? So like right now you're in testing 4. Can you delete testing 4 while you're in it?
No, you can't. You can't. Not that I know of anyway. You had to be outside of folder. Yeah.
Thank you.
So if I do ls, I see that I have all of these folders, all 4 of these. We got folder, we got spaces, we got the folder name with, and we got the folder name folder with spaces. This is the one I'm going to delete right now because this is bad practice either way. So in order to remove a folder, we do rmdir. That's remove directory. And I'm gonna start by using quotes because I know that this has spaces inside of it. So press the letter F, hit tab, and let's do a space and hit tab again. It completes it for me. This last slash is optional, but I'm gonna just leave it there just in case. So I'm gonna press enter. Hold on, let me go back first. So I'm currently inside of that folder on this side. Jabez, I don't know if you meant like being inside of the folder here or the terminal, but if I'm inside of the folder if I'm inside of it here, like in the actual folder, and I'm about to delete that folder, I'm actually not sure what's going to happen in that case.
I think the window just gonna disappear. I'm in the terminal.
Okay, in the terminal, yeah.
Yeah, I think that window just gonna go bye-bye.
Yeah, it pushed me back automatically.
Oh, that's cool.
Out of the folder.
Can I ask anybody, are they working on a Windows? Because I still have not been able to get make drive, that command to work for me.
Which command?
To make
mkdir.
yes.
Okay, that doesn't work. Let me
Has anybody else been trying to do that?
on Windows. Maybe it's different.
No, it's the same. It's mkdir.
mkdir. So you do mkdir, you hit space, and then you write the name of the folder.
Okay,
Let me give you an example. I'm gonna paste it in the chat. You can just paste it in there, see if it works. Paste it directly like that. All right, so I'm gonna just press enter just to show you that it creates it. We created an examples folder. Okay, so what I'm about to do now is show you something a little bit different. What we had did here when we had deleted this folder was completely empty, like because we had deleted those 2 files out of it first. Now mkdir, that remove directory, that only deletes folders that's currently empty. I'm gonna show you an example of that. I'm gonna go inside of the example folder. So CD into example. ls, of course, there's nothing inside of it. I'm listing out everything. And now I'm gonna create a file. I'm gonna just do nano, and then I'm just name it testing.txt. I'm gonna write something random inside of there. Control X, I'm gonna hit Y to save it, and then hit return. And that should have created this inside of it, this file. Now, right now, I'm inside of the example folder. I'm gonna go outside of it, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna do cd dot dot. Now I'm inside of the testing for folder. Now I'm gonna try to do a remove directory of example. And this time around it's saying directory not empty. And that's because we can't delete a directory that has stuff inside of it. Now, a way for you to do that is by typing, and I'm not sure if this is the same on Windows. I'll have to look into this one. But on Mac, you type RM for remove, you write a dash, and then I believe it's R for recursive. Let me just see if this works. Yeah. So RM stands for remove, dash R is for like recursive, and then the name of the folder that has stuff inside of it, which was example. So let me paste this. And I'm not sure if this works on Windows. If it doesn't, I'll figure out an alternative. But this removes folders with stuff inside. And I'll give you all these notes also. I'll just put it on the Google Drive afterwards.
For Windows, I think remove directory works both ways. So RMDIR will remove even folders that has some in it.
Oh, wow. I'm wondering.
Yeah, so to do both.
Yeah, now I'm wondering if I can do that same thing with Mac. I doubt it because I've never. I'm gonna just make a directory real quick, and I'm gonna just put something inside of it. I'm gonna do. Oh,
What's the prompt in order to get all the folders to display again?
For Windows is dir for directory.
No, there was another one you did that could cause all the windows to display on my all the folders to display on another screen.
Oh, you want to open up a folder? You're saying like
it was kind of like a path to all the folders in my my desktop. Before it was the dir, and I could see all those that were under the T Careed. But then there was another command you gave us earlier. I just don't remember that. And then remember I said, "Oh, it worked." That was the one.
I think that
Explorer.
Yeah, Explorer, and then dot. So this opens a folder on Windows. On Mac, we just type open and then dot. You can see how much more user friendly it is on Mac. Windows, you can like misspell Explorer like very easily. It's just not user friendly. But yeah, let me stop talking about Windows. But yeah, yeah. So right now I'm gonna do a PWD. We're still inside of the testing for folder. Now I'm gonna create another file inside of example to see if I can remove it with just RMDIR with like stuff inside of it. But instead of going inside of the folder and then creating something inside of it, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna create something inside of this folder while still being inside of the test for folder, just so I can show you a different way to do the same thing. So I'm gonna write nano, right? And if I want to make a file inside of another folder, I have to put the path to the file. So /, and I'm gonna put E for example, and then I'll press tab, and now I'm gonna put the name of the file. I'm just gonna say app.js. So you don't have to be in the folder to create a file inside of it. You can write the command and then write the path to the file, and then the file name afterwards, obviously. So we'll press enter for some stuff, X, Y, press enter, and now we have this app.js inside of the example folder. Now I'm still inside of the test4 folder. Let me see if I can remove the example folder, and I still can't do it on Mac, but it's good that we saw this just so you know. So I'm gonna go again, just put RM-R, and then I'm just gonna put example. Press enter, and this one should, it's deleted now. Let me see something. What other commands is there? So the CD, remove, we made a directory. Oh, so I'm gonna show you how to rename a a file or folder. I believe it's file or folder. So in order to rename something, and I haven't done this in a while, like a long while, what I'm gonna try to rename is folder. And I think I'm not sure if it's the same command on Windows. I believe it's the move command. Let me just test this out really quick. I'm gonna try to rename folder to folder 2. That is not a command. Oh wait, maybe it's this actually. Folder 2. Yeah. So you want to write the move command. So move is literally saying you want to move this to be a different name. It sounds weird almost. It's literally just renaming it. So what I'm gonna do is I put MV, I'm just gonna put spaces, and I'm gonna rename this to like something else, right? And it's gonna move. It's basically gonna move this like and delete it basically, and then recreate another one with a different name, and that's why it's called move. But if I hit enter, you can see that it now the name is something else because
For Windows, it's renamed.
It's renamed.
Yeah.
Cool. Let me so change name of folder. And that's actually better. I'll rather rename than MV. So maybe Windows got a point on that one.
You can also type REN, so REN for short. I think both of them will work.
So rename and what else?
REN, just the first 3 letters.
Okay. Or this, change name of folder. And this should change the name of the file also. Let me just I'm gonna create a file really quick. Nano, I think we can still, let me test something out really quick. Let me just test something. I'm not sure if it's gonna work. No, never mind, it doesn't work. I'm gonna create a file really quick with nano and then like file.txt. That's what I'm gonna name it. And it's gonna go inside of this directory. Control X, Y, enter, and it's here. Now I'm gonna rename this file. I believe we do the exact same thing with, so move, so file.txt to file2.txt. And yes, it renamed it to file2.txt.
So what is the CAT command? The cat command?
Cat is a way to edit a file. So if I do cat, now you can't, I don't think you can use this on Windows. Cat, and I'm gonna just put file2. If I hit enter, oh, it's a way to read it. It looks like it's a way to read it. But we can also write to it, I think. If I write this caret and I say something else, let me put this in quotes actually. I feel like this should write to it as well. Cat file2. Yeah, no, it does not
It
write.
created a folder called something else.
Oh wait. Create this file or something else. Wait, why is it?
It looked like it made a copy of file2, but literally put the same thing in it. So something else had the same thing as file2 inside of it, I believe.
Okay, yeah, that is it. That is it. It looks like, yeah, it copied this and then it created a file named something else with the same content inside of it. Okay, so that's what that does. Okay. Yeah. And another thing
I finally got that to work, by the way. But I guess what was happening is I was trying to, I guess, make it to a file, my music file that didn't, folder that didn't allow me to, I guess, make it.
Okay, cool. So let me see. We went over let's see, PWD, we went over how to open a file, how to list the files, how to change directories, how to make directories, how to create files, how to remove files, and how to remove folders with stuff inside of it. I gotta put removing a folder with nothing in it. So MDIR, and then just the folder name, remove folder without stuff inside. We know how to rename files. Another thing I want you to notice is a shortcut on the terminal. If you press the up key, you can see like the last commands. You keep pressing up, you can see all the commands that you wrote down. So like if you had to write another one of these again, you don't have to keep writing the same thing. For example, I can just press CD ... to go back a directory. Like, I can just keep going back a directory. I just keep pressing these CD ... until I can't go back anymore. And yeah, now I'm just at slash by itself. And let me see, CD, I'm on that right now. Let's see, ls, users, and Isaiah Harrison, and then desktop. And obviously, when you write CD, you can write the path also. You can keep going like more and more until you get to the space that you want to get to. So that's another thing to note. And right now I'm inside of the desktop. Let me see.
It's back. When you do rename, you have to put the name you want to, the first the folder you're renaming, and then space the folder that you want to change it to. Name you want to change.
Yeah, I believe that's how it is. That it should be the same. So it should be either rename or just ren.
And again, it's under Windows. It's not RN. It's, what is it?
It's, so to rename, you can just type rename by itself. Or for a shortcut, you can just type the first three letters, which is REN. So one thing I want y'all to notice, like I want y'all to be careful with, is deleting stuff. If like my whole computer is like inside of the Isaiah Harrison folder. So if I go and delete the Isaiah Harrison folder with this command here, that can, now I don't know what's gonna happen, but it can potentially like really mess my computer up. Like everything is just gonna be gone forever. Like you can't recover it. And I don't think that there is a safeguard for something like this. So just be careful with deleting stuff. You really want to make sure you delete the right thing. And another thing for me to know is that like these commands are used more often whenever you're working inside of like a server. Normally when you work with the server, you work with it in the command line. Like there's a certain command you enter in here to basically go inside of the server, or it's like going inside of another computer. And then you can run like ls and like cd. You can like start going around different folders and files inside of a server that's online. And then you'll be creating the folders, deleting the folders, stuff like that. You'll be doing this over and over again. And that's common with front-end developers or back-end developers. It just really depends on like what they want you to do. So yeah, these are commands that I would definitely commit to memory. There are a lot more than just these, but these are the ones I use all the time. I'm always using the CD command. I'm always using like, honestly, I use CD more than anything, to be honest. Yeah, everything else I just remember, but these are common to just know. Yeah, any questions on this stuff? Let me go into the chat to make sure there's nothing in there.
I don't know if this has anything to do with it. Is this how they struck the internet for stuff, information they don't want people to find out?
What's your question? You said is Your answer, I didn't hear your question. It says there.
How they like get rid of, like, if you want to disappear like off the internet, would they use this to make you disappear?
I'm honestly not sure, to be honest. That goes into like something way above my pay grade. But yeah, I'm not even sure. I'm sure you can, like, with the terminal, I'm sure you can like hack into stuff. Like, this is, hackers use the terminal. You can hack into stuff and start messing around with different files and folders over somewhere else. Like, if you wanted to hack into like um someone else's computer and delete your stuff on their computer,
You
like,
can use me as an example.
yeah, if we can hack to Jabez computer and steal all of his delete all of his projects. So he got to start from scratch. Yeah, you could do that. But I mean, but that computer has to be on the internet, and you have to have a way of getting onto that computer. I'm no expert in it, but I know that you can do it. So,
And
yeah.
another question, why are the commands different for Windows?
I think it's because just the creator, honestly. Like, they just, I'm not sure if it has something to do with like copywriting or whatever, but I know that they have so many different things, Mac versus Windows. Like, even these buttons up top on the window, on Macs is on the left side, on Windows is on the right side. Like, on Macs, the scrolling on your mouse is like up to go down and down to go up. On Windows is what the default is up and down is down. Like, there's just different, it just goes with having a different operating system. So,
I know it's some bullshit though.
yeah, it's like, yeah, it's annoying to have a different commands with different stuff. I can tell you that.
For some reason, that reminds me of when you were saying something about if you put your code online, somebody could pretty much just take it,
Yeah,
and do something a little bit different and get paid for it. For some reason, that comes up in my head when you guys were talking about that.
yeah. Yes, I think it has to do with just them wanting to copyright. To be honest, like, just to be different. I don't know. But yeah, different commands. Now I would say on I should have started off with this. Since there are different commands, and this is a problem, like on Windows, they always tell you to download something, and they want you to download something called Git Bash. Git Bash on Windows, when we download it to Windows, it gives you the exact same commands that that you use on Mac. Definitely want to download that. Let me see if I can get to the actual website. Type download Git Bash. Git Bash is another term. It's just like the CMD, except for it's called Git Bash. You can do the same thing on download. Is it? I haven't downloaded this in a long time. Yeah, this download. No, this is not it. This is something else. We need Git Bash.
That looked like a scam site. Get SCM. Whoa.
Oh, this or no. The one I was just now on. This one here.
Yeah, get SEM. For some reason, that just echoes scam. Like SEM seemed like scam to me. That scares me.
This is actually something that that we're gonna learn. It's called Git. This is something that's like very common in like the developer world. Like, if you don't know Git, you're not gonna be. It's gonna be kind of hard to justify whether you're ready to start working. And I'm gonna teach y'all how to do this too. And this is done in the command line as well. And that's why I'm introducing the command line. But yeah, we're gonna down. Let me I'm gonna try to find Git Bash. Let's see, download Git Bash terminal for Windows.
That you had just pulled up, so you need to know that as well.
The thing, this what I just put up? Yeah. And there's different commands here also. So there's a few different ones that you got to learn. And when we learn this is how you deploy code online. We're going to use this to put our code online so that other people can see what we create. Like it'll make like a website online essentially. So
Oh shoot.
yeah.
Talk to me now.
I'm gonna put a video in the Instagram chat. I can see that's already 8 o'clock. I'm gonna put a video in the Instagram chat showing you how to download Git Bash, and I highly recommend downloading Git Bash. Like on the job, if we want the command line, we either use Git Bash or we use a Mac. So we don't use Windows. And that's why I don't know the Windows commands. We don't use Windows commands. It's just not what we use. We use all the Mac ones. So yeah, let me see if there's anything in the chat. Any last questions? All right. So on Sunday, we're gonna learn Git. I'm gonna spend some time going through Git. Now Git it has its own commands, and these commands can get like very complicated, like very complex. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna teach y'all like the very basics of it. One, because I only use the very basics at work. The only time you use the complicated stuff is when you mess something up and you got to go back and you got to fix something. But if you do things, if everything goes to plan, which it rarely does, but if it does go to plan, you use all of the basic commands that I'm gonna teach y'all on Sunday. And after we learn that, I'm gonna show y'all how to put the portfolio online so that other people can see it. And if we got time, and I think that we will have time, we're gonna start with React again. We'll continue doing like React stuff, and we'll dive deeper into that. So yeah, and if there's no questions, I'll see everyone on Sunday.
This has been real interesting. And okay. I don't know how to answer.
I'm gonna stop the recording real quick, just to.